Good morning, everybody. We are up early today, and well, I am. And I thought I'd go ahead and I'd do this video now live. And anybody that's waiting for 10 o'clock, welcome at 10 o'clock. We're doing the mirror stitch this week, which is quite interesting. Um, Last week we did the striped reverse stitch and the Tunisian reverse stitch. Okay, what you're going to end up with, let me just read what it says in the book. Okay, it says the mirror stitch is the opposite of the Tunisian simple stitch. The wrong side looks like Tunisian simple stitch. It is crocheted with Tunisian purl stitches in the back bars. First, bring the yarn in front as for the Tunisian purl stitch. Insert the hook in the back bar as for the Tunisian reverse stitch and pull up a loop. So that's basically what the stitch is. I have already started my square and I got to thinking, why do I have to have a sample? We can just work a row or two together. So I have my 20 stitches on. You create a chain and then you crochet on the hook, and then you're going to work your way off, and then the next time we work forward, we're going to be in the stitch. So the first thing I have to do is get back to the beginning. And I just go quiet when I'm doing this because I don't want to drop any loops. You're just pulling, take a loop and pull through two, just like we've done on all the other blocks. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's okay. And two, and two, and two. The only place you do one is on that very first stitch off the hook. All right, so now we're at the beginning. All right, so when we did the reverse stitch, we pushed our thread back and then found our loop and then pulled through, right? So the thread was toward the back of the hook. For this stitch, what you have to do is bring your thread forward, tilt your row, find your first bar here, insert into the bar, keep the thread in front of the hook, like for a purl. Grab your yarn and do a little twist, and that locks it in on the hook so it can't fall off. And then pull through, and then I just take a minute to work it so it's at the even tension. So again, you're pushing your yarn in front of the hook. And I kind of hold it in place with my thumb while I go back here and look for my next bar, which is here. Keep the yarn at the front, do that little twist motion, pull through that loop. So that's all there is to it. You're just put the yarn toward the front of the work, and I hold it with my thumb so it's out of the way. Get so you can see that back bar like we did in the reverse stitch. Go through that. Keep that loop up here, the thread up in front, and then I just do a little twisty motion. My thread's gotten too loose. I got to tighten back up and pull it through. All right. Here we go. That looks better. So again, push to the front and then look for that next back loop, which is here. And then you're going to pull your thread through with a little twist to it. If you put that little twist in it, then it doesn't fall off the hook. Okay, so again, push the yarn forward to the front side of the hook. I think of it as the front side of the hook and the back side of the hook. Then I find my bar back here, insert my hook, and then I do that little twist. Forward, hold the yarn up here, then go looking for your back bar. I always try to get the yarn under control before I start looking for where I'm putting my hook. You know, I want that yarn to be where I need it to be. So I bring that front, find my bar, do a little twisty motion. And the reason I stop each time is I don't want big loops. So I work that tight enough that my tension is even across. This one is a little bit trickier. And so take your time. If you've got your yarn pulled too tight, loosen up on it. And you can loosen it, the tension, by using your thumb to pull it forward. Then we're going to do our little twisty motion and pull through our back loop. So yarn forward, hold it with my thumb, inside the next back loop, and bring a loop through. So get that yarn up to the front of your work. It's hard to do on camera. This one I really had to struggle with. So remember to take time with yourself. See, that thread's kind of acting like it wants to go to the back, but you need it at the front for the mirror stitch. And then I can see that. It really is easier if you get a hold of it with your thumb at the front of your work, and then that thread's not in your way. And then you just reach up and pull it through. And you're just going to repeat this, working your stitches on, doing this stitch in that back bar on the back side of the work, across, and then working your stitches off. So that's all there is to it. And again, remember to kind of pull it up so you don't end up with big loopity loops. All right, I hope that's clear enough. So push this forward, get it under control, find that back bar. Like so, and I think that's all of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's all the stitches. Now you're going to go through the one at the side. And if you look for the little mountain where you have a stitch, the side of a stitch here and one here, that's where you get behind those two, like so, and then draw up your side stitch. So now I have my 20 stitches back on. Morning, Ruth. So that's how you do the stitch. I would do another row, but I think if you just back me up and start again, you'll get it, because it's the same every row you do. So, and slow me down or speed me up, whatever you need to do to see. But now you're going to work your stitches back off like you did, you know, on every other reverse row. And you work off a single and then 2 stitches at a time across. I got to draw some thread. Here we go. My stomach's growling at you guys. Sorry about that. So again, this is another stitch that might give you some trouble, but take your time and have no fear about ripping it out if you have to, if it doesn't look quite right. And they call this the mirror stitch, but I think of it as a purl on the reverse stitch that we just did. because you're working in the back loops. You're doing the purl stitch where you bring the yarn to the front of the work. So always remember, when the purls are being done, the yarn is up here. When the simple is done, the yarn is at the back. And you work this way for the simple. For purl, you have to bring the yarn forward and hold it up here, and then go through your back loops across. And that's the difference on those two. So that's all I have. And I hope everybody will enjoy this stitch. Again, this one's called the mirror stitch. This is our stitch number 11. Because we did combine a stitch. We did a couple stitches where we did both the regular and the striped. So we're on number 11. And I fixed that. And the only thing I haven't done is add this video to the playlist. I'm hoping that some of these stitches will have videos that I can find. Yes, it's a pretty stitch. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to point out. In the description, it says it looks the reverse of our Tunisian simple stitch because you're working in the back loops. So the back will look like a simple stitch, see? So this looks like the first stitch that we did on the back instead of on the front, because this is the reverse. This is the right side. That's the wrong side, but this looks exact. I pulled my simple block out, and the back of this looks just like the front of our very first stitch, which I thought was really kind of cool. All right, y'all have fun, and I'll talk with you later. Bye, Ruth. Thanks for popping in.